Hello everyone, my name is Ace, and this is a Ducati. You know, Ducati. They're basically what happens when you slice a Ferrari in half. Like Ferrari, they're famous for their beautiful red color. Like Ferrari, they have a rich and storied racing history, and that results in passionate tifosi who will follow the red brand wherever it goes and are especially vocal in Italy. And like Ferrari, they sometimes combust into flames. Talk about fiery Italian passion. But we're not here to talk about that, we're here to talk about their rich motorsport history. The specific history I want to talk about is Ducati's exploits in the mid to late 90s, when they were seen as pretty much dominant in the World Superbike Championship, and that really begins here with the Ducati 916. The 916 was a steel trellis-frame superbike with a 90-degree 916cc V-twin engine, and was the replacement for the Ducati 888. It was met with great fanfare and a lot of positive reviews because it was seen as a market and direct improvement over the 888. Now, you can have as many journalists and road testers gush about your superbike as you want, but it doesn't count for anything if it doesn't prove itself on the track. Now, this is where we introduce Carl Fogarty, nicknamed Foggy. Now, Foggy was quite good. So good, in fact, that at the controls of the 888 in 1993, he managed to win 11 races. But he didn't win the championship, due to the ultra-consistent Scott Russell and his Kawasaki ZX-7R. Now, when Ducati unveiled the 916 and Foggy got his hands on it, that's when the trophies came, and they came in droves, allowing Foggy to win the title for 2 years in a row between 1994 and 1995, and he would win the title again with the 916 in 1998. Ducati also won the title in 1996 with Australian Troy Corser. The 916 would be replaced by the 996 in 1999, and that would hit the ground running with 3 consecutive manufacturers' titles between 1999 and 2001. In fact, the only year from the inception of the 916 where Ducati did not win the title was 1997, because that went to John Kaczynski and the Honda RC45. Hold on, what's this Honda footage doing in my Ducati video? Well, this bike's kind of important. This is the Honda VTR 1000, and to understand why it's important, you have to understand World Superbike regulations at the time. Now, the regulation stated that 4-cylinder bikes could have a maximum of 750 cc's, while twin cylinders like the Ducati 916 derivatives could have 1000 cc's. Now, Honda really wants to sell you 4-cylinder motorcycles. It's what they make. But this was a case if you can't beat them, join them. The VTR has a twin-cylinder engine, and that was a change from Honda's usual philosophy of making 4-cylinder engines. They did that to compete with Ducati on their own terms and to get those 1000 cc's and to get that horsepower advantage that they had so craved the previous years. And it was successful. It won the driver's title, not the manufacturer's title, in the hands of Colin Edwards in the year 2000, and it would win it again in 2002, beating out the 998. We'll get to the 998 later. And the reason I'm putting it in this video is because the VTR 1000 was a case of Ducati not just beating the opposition, but also sort of inspiring them, telling them how to do things. Honda would never have made a twin-cylinder engine except to beat Ducati. Shows a lot about Ducati's influence, doesn't it? Alright, back to Ducatis. This is the 998. This is the last of the 916 derivatives. And it didn't win the title. Now, you could argue it did, because Troy Bayliss did win the 2001 championship with a 998cc bike, except it was called the 996. It's a bit arguable there. It did not win in 2002 because that particular championship went to, like I said, Colin Edwards and the VTR 1000 SP2. This is the Ducati 999. It looks quite different from the bikes that came before it, doesn't it? That's because it's completely different. This is not a 916 derivative. It certainly does share some qualities, like the steel trellis frame and some mechanical similarities to the Testastretta engine that came from the 998. But other than that, it's a completely new motorcycle. It was heralded as such and was regarded as a true revolution in Ducati's design philosophy. And it was just as successful on track. Every single race of the 2003 Superbike World Championship was won by a Ducati. It was not quite so dominant in 2004, but they still continued to win the championship. Neil Hodgson and James Toseland winning the championship in those 2 years, respectively. I like to think of this as really the end of an era, because while they did win the championship after that, in 2006 with Troy Bayliss, and later on with Carlos Checa aboard the 1098, Ducati were never really as dominant as they were up until the 999 era. Now you could attribute that to a lot of things. Part of it could of course be tougher competition. The Japanese manufacturers such as Suzuki, Yamaha, Honda, and Kawasaki are finally coming back and investing wholeheartedly into the Superbike World Championship. European manufacturers are also on the rise. BMW is finally making a proper superbike, as well as Aprilia vying for that spot of top Italian manufacturers. Even still, Ducati still prove themselves to be among the frontrunners, and continue to win races and come close to winning the title. Ducati have since experimented with load-bearing engines. That's taken some time to bear fruit, but they still resulted in some beautiful and very competitive motorbikes from the Ducati brand. And although the number 9 at the start has gone, the legacy of the 916 still somehow makes it through even in today's high-performance Ducatis. So, I guess we end it here. Thank you everyone for joining me on this journey into Ducati's very dominant years, and I hope to see you all next time. Goodbye.